Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle video tutorial on Flame Painter 4. How to create amazing designs with just one brushstroke and using multiple layers. So I'm just going to remove this design now. Simply go over to Layer menu and New Layer. Now you could use Vector Layer. Vector layers are even more useful because what you can do, you can tweak that vector layer. Once you've applied it, you can then go back to it, modify the points. And I'm just going to, for this purpose of this tutorial, New Layer. And simply add a brush. Just go over here, you've got all the brushes here, and you can use a pen instead, but I'm just going to go with the brush. So just apply it this way. Now the brushes I've got here may be different from the set of brushes you've got. Obviously I've worked on lots of different brushes, created a lot of different designs. But however, let's just go down here to the transform. Click that and you can see there the layer hasn't extended beyond that. It's just done that one little design that I created with that brush stroke. Now any movement, any change, just even moving it, it requires an OK. It's just right down the bottom, tucked away beneath this. Always slightly bugs me, I must admit. One feature that I wish they would put it, if they want to thing, just put it somewhere slightly better than that. It's sort of maybe there or something, but no, just down the bottom. Always forget about it. Now what you can do, you can duplicate that layer. So you can go to a layer and you can duplicate. What you can then do is move it, and again and resize it if you want as well. You can resize it, move it around. Always remember again is the OK there. So it's just done there. Now with layers, now obviously I can build up a vast load of different designs, but I'm not. But obviously you could see what I'm going to do. I could do 5, 10, 20, 30 layers, spread it out all across the design, and you've created quite an interesting design, which you can also, of course, use blending modes. So you can run through the blending modes there. Some may be better than others, say like difference, and you can see you can create a whole range of different effects with that layer. So I'm just going to stick with normal, but you could also use, of course, opacity as well, so you can make it slightly faded. But you can also apply effects, so you can go, or filters. There's a very limited range of filters, not huge, but you've got things like glow. So you can add and that's just applied to that layer. So you can add some strength, so you can see a bit of a glow there. So you're taking that purple, and you've got quite a nice design. And again, you can then go to here, layer, and duplicate. And again, you've got another layer here, which of course you can still then use blending modes, but you can also still continue to move the design. You can see you move it there. And also, of course, you can apply other filters as well. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly get rid of all these. I'm just going to, well, I could actually, before I do that, just go here, select all of them. What you can do is select them all, then you can go to layer, and then you can merge. Before you do that, remember to click OK. Just a simple act, so slightly frustrating, that feature, I must admit. Times I've done things and I'm thinking, well, why isn't it doing something? Because I haven't pressed return. It's a bit, However, layer and merge layers. So you can merge them all into one layer. And then of course what you can do, you've got this layer, and again, OK down the bottom. And again, you can go layer and duplicate layer. And you can see obviously with that glow, you can then of course move that design. And again, press OK. I think they really need to work a better way of doing that. It's just slightly, always gets me that. So with that design, obviously I can just flatten the whole thing and merge all of and finish off with the design. And I can still, of course, combine it with additional brush strokes. Oops, no I don't. Deny, I don't want that. Wonder why it does. Applications will always pop up with a panel or a dialogue just when you don't want it. Well, you can also simply delete them as well. So do that. So a layer and new vector layer. So new vector layer. Now vector layers I think is really great feature. And I'm just going to go with a different brush. Maybe that one. So I'll just quickly apply it. You can see that. Well, what you can do once you've got that vector layer, you can go down here. There's an option here, edit vector layer. And trouble with vector layers is there's an awful lot of points. There's no feature, unfortunately, for reducing the number of points. I really would love a sort of simplify feature. That would be so useful. However, what you can do, you can drag that around. And you can see, you can obviously create a different sort of misty effect just there. It stretches it out there. But what you can also do is you can still go to layer and you can duplicate layer. Now you've got this, but the one thing with this is you don't have to keep pressing return all the time, because here I'm not going to transform it. I'm just going to use this. So I can move that around, so say drag it over there, and you can tweak it by doing that. Move that there, move that there. Now also, well, of course, if you want, you can always go to filters. If you obviously want to change the colour, you can always go colorize. Doesn't allow it. Okay, so you can't do that. What you can do, you can obviously edit it, but you can't change the colour. Very strange. Layer and duplicate layer again. You can see the design there, and of course you can still then tweak that one and drag that down, so you can fill very rapidly the whole image with your design. And of course you don't have to keep the same design. Obviously the colour, so let's just go here, and I can now say I'm just going to go with that. And you can change the design. It's weird you can't change the colour, but you can change the design. There's just odd quirks in this that just, you can see you can do that. And of course what you can then do is you can go over layer again, duplicate layer, and you've got that design. And maybe let's go for some different brushes. Just go for that set of brushes. There's another one. And you can see you can build up a very complex design, and I haven't added any additional brush strokes. All I've done is simply just use very basic features of just changing the brush and adding multiple layers, as well as, of course, with vectors, you can simply drag and do that and create literally a massively complicated design, but with very little brush strokes applied. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. Always adding new tutorials all the time about Flame Painter, of course, as well as Photoshop, Illustrator, and many, many other applications. Also, if you've got any comments, always appreciated. Anything that I've done wrong, anything I did maybe too confusingly, or maybe some sort of things telling me, no, Flame Painter doesn't work that way, which is quite possible. Also, a dislike or like. Thank you much.